In the world of earbuds, companies are constantly trying to outdo themselves and pack more and more tech and more strange features into their earbuds. And today we'll be taking a look at one of the more interesting offerings in the high-end earbud space. And of course, I'm talking about what are colloquially known as the beans, the Samsung Galaxy Buds Live, the most high-end and premium Galaxy Buds that Samsung offers, with a way higher price tag than its Galaxy Buds and Buds Plus counterparts, and with some very interesting features like its very odd shape and stuff like active noise cancelling. Are these really worth that extra price? Well, let's find out. So then, what do you get in the box? Well, not much, because you don't need much to get started with these. Just a USB Type-C cable, because thankfully they do use Type-C for charging, and of course in the middle you get yourself that beautiful case. Like when it comes to your major earbuds out there, I gotta say, I think I like the case of these the best. It is stylish, classy, and especially in gold, very premium looking. Honestly, it's very compact as well. It will pretty much fit in any pocket, and overall kind of reminds me more of like a box for like an engagement ring, you know? I mean, who knows, maybe in the future we'll be giving each other, you know, earbuds instead of engagement rings, because the future. Anyway, inside you find your two Galaxy Buds Live in the very peculiar shape. They magnetically sit in place in the little holes and are both very easy to get out and also very easy to put back in, thanks to the previously mentioned magnets. And then we move on to the earbuds themselves. Aesthetics wise, I honestly don't know what to say about them. It is so completely unique, and I do believe that its weird shape and the fact that it doesn't have an actual seal on it probably contributes to the noise cancelling or the overall quality somehow, but the look itself, I just don't know. Because especially in the gold variant, it almost looks like some very like blinky hearing aid, you know, like the hearing aid for like the 1% or something. So, I don't really know. I don't really want to be going around town with something that looks like either a golden bean or a golden hearing aid in my ears, but maybe that's just me. I mean, I always have the advantage that when I put them in, well, you almost can't even see them because of my hair, so I guess that's something. Speaking of putting them in, that's another thing where I'm honestly not too sure what to say. Because on one hand, as you can see, it's easy enough. However, on the other hand, because of the fact that there is no direct seal, you're never entirely sure if you put them in correctly, and trying to get them in just right can be a bit of a pain. What makes it even more annoying is the fact that there's a little button we can use on each earbud. Now, I like these buttons, they're really cool. You can tap them to do things like pause music, or skip, or go back to different tracks, and you can even customize in the app what each number of taps will do. Now, I will talk a bit about the app later, because there's a lot to talk about there, but let's just say it's extremely annoying when you're just simply trying to put the earbud in as it's intended to be, and then you just end up pressing that button by accident and pausing or skipping tracks or whatever. Now, thankfully, there is an option in the app to temporarily disable the buttons, which is nice. However, that function's ease of use is undermined rather by the fact that it's not just right there on the main screen. Instead, you have to go into a sub-menu, and only there you find an option, which kind of disqualifies it from being a ultra quick solution. I mean, it's only one click away, I know, it's almost entitled to complain about that, but still, these are supposed to be super easy to get in after all. And if you can't get them in without tapping the button, and you need to disable the button every single time you want to put them in, then that's definitely wasting some time. But once they're in, are they comfortable? Well, yeah, definitely. They sit nicely, and you definitely don't have the same pressure in your ear like you do in normal earbuds or even just normal earphones, where you have a nice little seal there when they're proper, like, you know, in-ear earphones. So now let's talk about what's probably the most important thing for most earbuds: the audio quality. And the audio quality is fine. It's just fine. Absolutely by no means amazing, but it's still definitely very good for earbud standards. And active noise cancelling definitely also contributes to it being, I guess, above average audio quality, which brings us nicely to what's probably the most controversial thing about these earbuds: the active noise cancelling. Because to many users, the active noise cancelling on these things has been nothing but a disappointment. Am I one of them? Well, it's kind of hard to explain. I decided to test the active noise cancelling for these in a lot of different conditions, from just going down to a shop to just going to a construction site. And sure, at a construction site, even with these on max volume and with the active noise cancelling, I could barely hear the song. But in more normal conditions, you can definitely hear the active noise cancelling in place. It's just maybe not what you expect when you think of noise cancelling technology. But the feeling you get and the change in audio you get, even with no song or anything playing, because the active noise cancelling works even when you just simply have them in your ear. But the way it feels like is, you know how you're in a plane and at the start all the engines and everything are very loud and obnoxious and very like this depth to them, but then once you're settled in the air and you've been flying for a while, your ears get a bit clogged up and then everything just kind of like dies down a bit and everything just feels like it's been kind of muted a bit. Yeah, that's essentially what these sound like. It literally just sounds exactly the same as if you're just in an airplane and your ears are getting clogged up from pressure. But at least, you know, you don't have the pain of your ears actually being clogged up from pressure in a plane, so that's good. So the active noise cancelling is definitely there, and even when I was just walking around having these in my ears to block out at least some of the hustle of the city was kind of nice, even if it does kind of make me think like I'm in a plane or something. Active noise cancelling is achieved by having 3 microphones in each earbud, and well, the effect is definitely at least somewhat noticeable. So overall, the active noise cancelling isn't probably the main selling point of these, but it's still there and still a decent feature. Speaking of the microphones, of course you can use them for stuff like taking calls, and hey, they even have Bixby integration, which is pretty cool. Though just don't expect the mic quality to be excellent. Another thing to consider when it comes to earbuds is the battery life, and these ones have a pretty good one actually, with a 60 milliamp hour battery in each earbud, another 470 milliamp hour battery in the case itself. It's plenty to get you several days of average amount of use with no charging. And when you do need to charge them, well, the fact that you use both Type-C charging and even wireless charging, then you get them sorted out in no time. So all of that makes this a very strong and very tiny and compact package. Like this thing only weighs like 50 grams as well, so it's definitely super convenient with all those features. But the features of these Galaxy Buds don't stop at the Galaxy Buds themselves and the case they're in, because you can also do a lot on your phone to make them even better. And that's one of the major selling points that Samsung had going for it, because for many people, while Apple earbuds mainly win out when it comes to quality, Samsung definitely has quite a nice and substantial app for you to take advantage of. In app, you have the previously mentioned customization of your button prompts. You have some very basic but still good enough EQ options, even special gamery features that are supposed to reduce the amount of latency in the audio when you play games, which is cool. Options for reading aloud your notifications, and even a Find My Earbuds option, which is cool if you happen to get them lost. So overall, that's a lot of stuff you get with these earbuds. However, of course, there's one main issue, because they absolutely look premium, they sound premium, and they cost like a premium product. Seeing how they'll cost you around in the neighborhood of $150, which is a lot, but that makes sense. These are definitely supposed to be the most premium Galaxy Buds they have on offer, and if you need evidence for that, just look no further than the color choices. You can get them in black, blue, white, and bronze, which is what I have them in. And unlike with the other colors, these are the only Galaxy Buds that come in bronze, the same color that's also exclusive to the current Samsung flagships, the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra, like my Mystic Bronze phone right over here. So it's definitely clear that this is for the people who can also afford one of these. Now here's another thing to remember though. Even though it's definitely aimed for people who do run a Samsung phone, you can use it with an iPhone if you have some phobia of using Apple's own earbud solutions, which are also pretty fantastic. And you can also use it with your PC as well, so that's also great. Though I had some very weird crackly staticky issues when connecting them up to my PC. That may be just me, or maybe some firmware issue that will be fixed later. Oh, and the range, I almost didn't mention the range. The range on these is absolutely amazing. Like, I was able to have my phone in this room, go several rooms down, and still be able to hear everything perfectly through these Galaxy Buds Live, so that's still pretty amazing. But that's all the stuff you'd be expecting when you're paying $150 for a pair of earbuds. But here's the thing, we as a society just need to come to a realization that these things will never be cheap. Like, when you consider how much technology goes into such a tiny object No wonder the cost balloons, because in just this tiny space you need to have a battery, 3 microphones, speakers, charging mechanism, Bluetooth module, and all the logic required to make everything work in such a tiny space. So no wonder that these things are expensive. And honestly, that will just not change for a long time still. So yes, they are expensive, but they're expensive because they have a lot in them, and at least for now, we just can't expect so much stuff to come in an earbud at a cheap price, because again, these are super highly complicated little things, and I guess that's what it comes down to. These are great, and you definitely can't get its features at a lower price, but they're still pretty expensive. So we can either get them now and enjoy all the great features for $150, which is a, I don't know, maybe not a reasonable price, but at least a fair one, kind of. Or you can just wait a few more years until earbuds become more mainstream and a lot cheaper. The choice is yours, but for now, if you need some earbuds, you can definitely go worse than these. They may not be the be-all and end-all of all earbuds, but if you're a Samsung user who does have the money for these, then go ahead. You're definitely getting a premium experience. And also, if you want to know more about these, then also check out my unboxing and first impressions video, which I did a while back. I'm going to have the link up in the iCards. And hey, while you're still here, maybe check out my Patreon, because even $1 month goes a long way, and it helps make videos like these possible. I simply couldn't do it without you, so definitely check out my Patreon. It really does go a long way. And also, out of my patrons, Gavin Burns and Erico B, thank you ever so much. Down there, I'm also going to put our Amazon links for these Galaxy Buds, because if you buy them through our Amazon links down below, you don't pay anything extra and we get some money, so it's a win-win. Down there you just find a link to my Discord if you want to talk to me or about this or whatever else really. And I think this is really it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.